go over some yoga poses today that focus on proprioception. So proprioception is the sense within our bodies that lets us know where our body parts are positioned in space without having to look at them. So it's largely unconscious, and it's a sense that's giving our brain feedback all the time where our body is positioned so that we can pay attention to other things in our environment. So it's really important for children with visual impairments that they have a smoothly functioning proprioceptive sense so that they can pay attention to things in their environment, like their teacher speaking or any hazards that might be in their environment, and they don't have to constantly be thinking about where their body parts are positioned. So there's a lot of ways to work on proprioception. The best way is to stretch and tighten the muscles against the pull of gravity. So things like crab walks or any animal walks, push-ups, things like that, and a lot of yoga poses as well. So proprioception activities, they're really good to incorporate throughout the routine, the daily routine. So they calm and they organise us, and they bring us back into centre when we're overstimulated or when we're understimulated. So they're really good activities to put in place maybe before a child is sitting down to do some tabletop activities or some homework or things like that. So you'll need a mat for this, and you'll need to be on your bare feet as well. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate some of those.
So we're going to start at the bottom of our mat. So stand tall, pressing down into your feet. So pretend your feet are like the roots of a tree, really grounding down into the earth. So close your eyes here and take a big breath in, filling your belly with air, and slowly breathe out through your nose. So inhale and lift all your toes up off the mat. And slowly, one by one, place them back onto the mat. So we'll do this again. So inhale, just lift your toes up off the mat. And exhale, lower them back down. And then again. So inhale, toes lift up. And exhale, lower them back down again. So stand tall and take a few breaths here. Now we're going to make our way to the top of the mat in slow motion. So we're going to take one step, place our heel down and then our outer foot and then our toes. And then in slow motion, we're going to press the other foot down. And we're going to continue this until we get to the top of the mat. So as slow as you can go. When you get to the top of the mat, we're going to go backwards now and slowly take a step backwards in slow motion with one foot and then the same with the other. So placing the toes down first, then the outer foot and then the heel until you reach the bottom of the mat. So stand tall and take a breath here. So now fold forward, touching your hands on the floor. Bend your knees here as much as you need to and start walking your hands up the mat very slowly. Come up onto your tippy toes and keep your body straight. Take a big breath here and push down into your hands. Now start to walk your hands back down the mat and place them beside your feet. And come up to standing and take a few breaths here. So next we're going to be like a frog. We're going to bend our knees and sit down as far as our heels. Open your knees out to the side and place your hands on the floor between your legs. So reach your hands out in front of you and press them into the floor. Now jump like a frog and bring your feet to the outside of your hands. So do this again until you get to the top of your mat. When you get to the top of your mat, we're going to make our way back down to the bottom. So press into your hands and lift your hips and jump your feet back. Bring your hands back to rest on the floor between your legs again, and then repeat that until you get to the bottom of your mat. So come back up to standing. Now we're going to sit on an invisible chair. So bend your knees and hover over your invisible chair. You can lift your hands up to the ceiling if you want an extra challenge. Take a breath here and then come back to standing. So the last pose we're going to do is called bumpy truck. So sit at the back of your mat with your legs straight out in front of you. Stretch your hands out in front of you and pretend you're holding onto a steering wheel of a truck. Now start to shuffle forward until you get to the top of your mat. Remember to keep your legs straight and your hands out in front of you on the steering wheel. When you reach the top of your mat, we're going to reverse and go back down to the bottom of the mat again. So when you're ready, swing your legs to the side and come to sitting on your heels. Bend your belly over your thighs and rest your head on the floor. Take a few breaths here and relax. So thank you for watching this video. These yoga poses can be incorporated throughout the day to help improve your child's proprioception.